Hello everyone, it's Jack and Sam from Cultaholic.com. It's Wednesday morning and it's time for a news update. We've got some sad news, we've got some happy news, we've got some WrestleMania news as well.
We do.
Very exciting times. Let's look at all of the headlines. First and foremost, there was a big title change last night on SmackDown, but who was it and which title was won? Secondly, Dave Meltzer believes that he's got some evidence pointing towards Roman Reigns' opponent at WrestleMania. And finally, in sad news, a major NXT superstar requires surgery. So first and foremost, it was a very big night on SmackDown, Sam.
Yes, it was very big.
There was a title change, and it was to the benefit of one of your personal faves. I'm sure you're very happy about this.
Yep.
So there was a four-way United States Championship match between R-Truth, Samoa Joe, Andrade, and Rey Mysterio. R-Truth's being this whole fighting champion sort of thing.
Yeah.
Last week, it was R-Truth versus Andrade versus Rey in a triple threat.
Yeah.
This week, when you add Senior Joe to the mix, I think everyone else's chances of win
drastic go down.
Go down, and that's exactly what happened. Samoa Joe is the new United States champion.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's very good. It's his first taste of main roster gold. He is a former NXT champion, but yes. And the match was a strange one because you'd think that he'd get the pinfall on R-Truth, but that's actually not what happened. R-Truth was taken out of the match by Zelina Vega, and Carmella hit Zelina Vega. There was a bit of a spot on the outside. In the ring, Rey's just battering Andrade. 619, frog splash, and then Joe comes in, back senton onto Rey to break up the pinfall, hits a Uranagi, and that's enough. And I quite like that finish because he's already been hit with a 619 and a frog splash, and then the Uranagi. I think that's
it's nice.
Pretty decent.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. It's part of Joe's, style as well. It's a very Joe finish.
I think it's going to get some prestige back to that United States belt as well, because holy hell, it's needed it, hasn't it?
Oh, it has a little bit.
I mean, I love R-Truth. I love him to pieces, but it just feels like that belt's been floating around, and give it to Joe and have Joe be a monster that nobody can take the belt off. Make it mean something. Again,
but there's no guarantee because when it got put on Nakamura, everyone was like, oh, Shinsuke, he's really good in the ring, and then it just
look what happened there.
Yeah. I feel like if you're a mid-card champion in the build to WrestleMania, it's a pretty dangerous time because the belts seem to shift around quite a bit before Mania.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I remember it happening with it last year. I think Orton won it from Rude or something, and then Rusev was involved, but he never won it, even though everyone wanted him to. And so often the IC title gets defended in big multi-man matches at Mania, sometimes ladder matches. So I'm wondering if we're going to see any big multi-mans for either the US or the IC belt at Mania.
Yeah, you got to be because obviously they did that big IC ladder match, didn't they, at 32?
Yes.
Which was like, was that 7-man or something?
Yeah, they did one at 31.
But then it's straight after the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, so it's like just piles of men. There's like loads of, there's too much going on, so I think it needs to be a bit further up the card if they do it instead of opening.
Last year's there was no stipulation. There was a triple threat for the IC one, and there was a four-way for the US title. Yeah. And there's enough people in the US picture right now for there to be a big multi-man match. You've got Rusev, Nakamura, Andrade, R-Truth, Rey, now Joe. Like there's certainly various options, so it's quite hard to tell what they're going to do at the minute, but I think it's a promising title change. I think they're heading in the right direction. Hopefully, you can hang on to it for a little bit of time. Yeah,
I'd like to see Joe with that belt for a long time. Yeah.
Speaking of WrestleMania, let's go now to the Wrestling Observer Radio, where Dave Meltzer has been. Are you all right?
I can't believe this.
Where Dave Meltzer has been speculating on who he thinks is Roman Reigns' WrestleMania opponent, but it's not just meaningless speculation. He has sort of grounded it in a bit of evidence,
which is what makes this more confusing.
So he reckons that Reigns' WrestleMania opponent will be former acting general manager of Monday Night Raw, Baron Corbin.
Go back to Ring of Honor.
So I think that it's a strange one. The reason for this, the Meltzer's given for this, is that it's apparently a match that's booked for the house shows leading up to Mania. Roman versus Baron will be on the house shows in March. And it lets
them, get all their stuff planned. I guess. Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it's that obvious,
Yeah, I don't know. I think Corbin could be involved with the match in some way, but I don't necessarily see that being, Roman Reigns' big blockbuster WrestleMania return, Baron Corbin, unless they're going to build Corbin up somehow in the next couple of months to be, month to be massive.
I know, but unless maybe, because WrestleMania is so long that sometimes it does need a squash match or two. Maybe it could be just a quick squash for Roman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But what I was thinking was, because we know that Roman's return will be this Sunday when he's in the triple threat, the six-man with the Shield against Corbin, McIntyre and Lashley. Now I'm wondering if his opponent would not make more sense if it was Drew. at Mania?
I think I've just thought of what might be happening.
Oh, God.
It might be the half-time point. You know, when there's the big squash at half-time, like Undertaker Cena.
Right.
I think Bell's gonna happen, and then Baron Corbin's gonna run to the back, and who's gonna stop him? It's the other members of the Shield.
Okay.
And then they'll all come down and hit him with something.
Big
and then
power
stand
slap,
tall. And then,
I reckon it could be Drew.
Drew would be really good.
But the problem
That'd
then
be
is
fantastic.
The problem then is I don't want either of them to lose.
Yeah.
So it's quite a strange one. But no, Meltzer reckons because of these house show dates that have been booked, it's gonna be Big Baron.
I'd be interested to see what it'd be.
You know what? I feel bad for Baron because he does everything that's asked of him.
Yeah, he's such a good worker.
He's good at his job.
Whatever he's told to do, he does.
Yeah.
He does it to the best of his abilities, which is usually pretty bloody good.
And he just gets...
And people still hate him.
No, I feel bad for him. But equally, I don't really want to see that match at WrestleMania. So also we need to take a look, unfortunately, at the news that a major NXT star is about to get neck surgery, and it's Tommaso Ciampa, the NXT champion.
Yeah, it's big. Really, really big and scary.
Yes. Well, this comes courtesy of, and before we report any of this, of course we wish him a full and speedy recovery.
Absolutely,
but we don't know how speedy it's going to be because it seems pretty severe. This comes courtesy of Wrestling Observer Radio, where Meltzer was saying that apparently it's been confirmed to him by WWE that Ciampa is set for neck surgery in the next couple of days. He doesn't know what kind of surgery it is, but he's just sort of guessing or speculating that it could mean an absence for Ciampa of anywhere between 6 to 14 months. So a lengthy, even in the best case scenario, he's gone for half a year, which is pretty bad.
Huge. That's so long.
It's so sad as well because he's really been doing so well. He's been so good.
I'd hope, obviously, if surgery goes well and everything's fine and he's able to recover quite quickly to a point where he's able to appear on camera, not work, but appear on camera and, you know, be a manager or just be a heel or have some sort of position where he's still on screen. I'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't rush these things, especially neck surgery, man. It's the most...
It's health's the most important thing.
Serious surgery.
Now, he is a key ingredient of NXT.
Yeah.
And usually I wouldn't say like, oh, it's NXT, because NXT is so strong and so the storylines are so well booked that normally I'd be like, well, you know, but he is the champion and he's part of this central storyline.
Yeah.
He's going to have to vacate the belt. That's almost a formality. And the plan was for a big blow-off between Ciampa and I think it was going to be Ciampa Gargano again, probably over WrestleMania weekend, and that'll be their final clash before they went presumably off to the main roster or whatever. But I mean that can't happen now. I don't know whether they'll delay that story or how are they going to decide a new champion.
Well, I mean, if it's 14 months, how do you delay it for 14 months?
Well, that's the thing. You just have to sort of put it aside and then maybe revisit it one day.
Yeah, because it could be a very, very abrupt, horrible end to one of the best storylines we've seen in modern wrestling.
I know. It's been such a good storyline, and it's such a shame that it's had to end this way. But of course, his health is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Originally, he was going to push through apparently and work until Mania. Then the blow-off would happen, and then that's it. But by the looks of it, things apparently have just probably became... Well, you don't know what's happened, but circumstances have changed.
Yeah.
And I guess the decision was made that he has to undergo surgery this week. So it's very sad. Very sad news.
At least he's taking care of it and he's getting looked after.
Absolutely, and we can't wait to see him back in action. And finally, one little bonus news story as well. On 205 Live last night, it saw the debut of Colby Kirino.
How weird is this?
So, if you don't know who Colby Kirino is, he is the son of former NWA and ECW champion Steve Kirino. Also known for his time in Ring of Honor as well. He was currently he's a trainer, or it's been reported as he's done a bit of training and a bit of producing backstage in WWE as well, specifically for NXT apparently.
Right.
I think I read a news article somewhere that said that he was a leaked script from TakeOver War Games 2 said that he was the man behind the Tommaso Ciampa Velveteen Dream match, which was awesome. So that's really good. So he's a well-respected figure in the wrestling business, and his son Colby Kirino, 22 years old, made his debut on 205 Live as local talent. And did get squashed, by Mike Kanellis, but
Mike, man.
But it's quite a good introduction, I suppose. He's still very young.
Yeah.
And it had a nice little nod as well to his father's career, because apparently Steve Kirino and Kanellis feuded in Ring of Honor once.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The thing that I don't like about that, now that I know he was facing Mike Kanellis, is that Mike Kanellis has had this really hot hot storyline sort of going on when it was announced that they wanted their release faces, and they came in, and Maria sort of did like some almost worked shooting style commentary where she was slagging off the company, and then the whole story evolved into Mike can't get a win. He gets so close, he takes people right to the line, he can't get a win. And then Drake Maverick's like, I've got you a match next week, don't you worry, son.
You think it's going to be someone big.
You think it's going to be somebody, and he's going to eventually overcome the odds and get that win.
No, it was Coby Kirino.
It's Coby Kirino. Yeah. I mean, he'll be a big name one day, but that's... Well, I don't know what they're going to do with them now. What are they going to do with Mike?
But it's a nice story because I think I did some research on Reddit as well. Apparently, Coby Kirino's had his issues with like drug abuse in the past, so it's nice to see he's sort of cleaned himself up. Got himself on TV.
I mean, if he's on TV, then hopefully we can see him in the Performance Centre. If not, we can see him elsewhere.
Yeah. Good for you, Coby, mate. Yeah, that's his real name as well, I think. So I'm not just using his work name. Oh my god. Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.